Today, bro, I'm trying to go gym.
I'm meeting a bird. I've just been gym.
What bird you meeting?
You don't know her, G. Just something I pulled on live. Just
She Leng.
yeah. She's nice. She's black. My first
I
black girl.
swear.
Yeah, she's
Bit of
fit.
you.
You'd find her fit though. She's like, you know them black things that look white. Nah, you know, like with the facial expressions, like, you know, like.
So, what does that
Like they
consist
ain't.
of, mate? What
No,
does that
basically
consist of? The black things that look
the
white?
ones that ain't
How do
coming
the
like
black things
Drogba.
look white, mate?
No, bro, it's just the ones that ain't coming like Drogba, bro.
What,
No,
like,
for real, she ain't coming like Drogba at all. She's looking pang.
Well,
Hey, what are you saying today, bro? I'm
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. This is the kind of stuff that happens when you don't realize, nigga, you black. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that happens when you don't lost your soul tapping for the Caucasoid supremacy. Okay, when you don't realize that they look at you still like you black. You know that, right? But you don't realize that because you think you're in with the boys because y'all talk about women in a particular way. And you know what? It's disappointing to see this. But I've titled this thing, this is where black men need to hold other black men, or I don't know if he's mixed, he might be mixed as well, hold them accountable. Because this is some bullcrap, right? Like you come onto TikTok. The first part, we understand, listen, boys talk about mad things, right? First and foremost, you're on the internet. This is dumb, right? This conversation you've never had on the internet. Number two, and I'll show you the video thingy that the girl actually replied as well. Like a black girl that is as white things. I think what he really means saying is the mannerism, the characteristics, the way she talks, the way she moves. There's a culture to being black, right? Let's just keep it a buck. We're not going to lie about this. There's a culture to being black, which is why we spent years when we were kids calling people coconuts and Maltesers. We know what they are. Right, we call them Uncle Toms. We know exactly what that culturally being inclined to whites to Caucasoid culture exactly is, especially from a British aspect as well. We know, okay, and I'm sure Americans know too. We know. We don't have to explain that. That's not the issue, right? I think also the young man who was beside him, the young white boy there too, he too was obviously trying to, I guess, you know, I think he was even setting him up. I'm gonna be honest with you, because he really wanted him to explain fully what it actually consists of. Like he didn't stop him. He been like, listen, bro, maybe that's not the right thing to say. Like, let me try and block it. He's like, no. Let me tease it out of you. What do you really mean by that, bro? Right? But you don't realize he helped along the conversation to degrade. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm gonna make it up as a word now. To denigrate, okay, to be derogative, you know, and to be it's very 2012 anti-black, misogynoir type of rhetoric that we were talking about on Twitter in 2012, where we were, you know, talking about black women as this and that. I don't want to mention some of the things we said, compare them to other animals and stuff like that, and just genuinely being coloristic as well in our approach towards black women. I'm talking about dark skin tone black women. This is why I keep saying that when we talk about black women, sometimes a lot of this conversation gets lost in the black. Sometimes it's not even about being black. It's about being dark skinned black. It's much more different because he has just said here the girl's a black thing. When I show you the picture, she's brown. Okay, she's still black, but I'm saying she's brown. Okay, and then in his title, he's called it dark chocolate. You know, like when people say, obviously, we want a tall, dark, and handsome. They don't mean black. What they mean is tall, dark. And what tall, dark, and handsome means really tall, tanned, and handsome. They don't mean us black like that. Do you know what I'm saying? They didn't mean us when they were saying that. Now, in his particular conversation with a young man, the part that really frustrates me here is the part where he makes the comparison between a black woman and Drogba. Right now, the reason why I find this a problem, very problematic, is because he intentionally chose a black woman to do this too. Right? He didn't say, ugly girls. He said specifically black women that looks like Didier Drogba. But in mind, Didier Drogba was actually a darker tone as well. But, you know, Didier Drogba and saying she's got a large forehead, or, you know, I've heard this term being said before, large forehead, or looks a particular type of way, right? very masculine. And it's like I'm looking at it and I'm like, he chose violence for no reason on the internet for no reason, right? That should let you know the level of disrespect that he has behind closed doors. You're out here tapping for the Caucasoid master, all right, to degrade, to denigrate. I keep making this word to be derogative to black women. His mom is white, by the way, so he's not. The dad is black. I don't think the dad's with the mom anymore. So this self-hate that comes through so swiftly, is ugly. It's uncouth. It's abysmal. It's shambolic, right? And what you realize is it's a lot of times you don't like yourself. There's a part of your identity that you don't even like yourself. This is why you're able to be so derogative to black women, and a lot of black men also too. Full black men have the same issue: self-hate. You hate yourself and the position oftentimes you are in society. You hate being under the form of white supremacy, and yet you are here issuing the same level of abuse to black women. Bro, we got to do better, man. And we got to hold these kind of goons accountable, because I went on his TikTok. He's got like 700K followers. His whole ethos of TikTok is about, moving to women and being confident and basically always asking for sex. It works because, like I said, if you tell the truth, people are going to want to do it. I've got no problem with that, right? But you didn't stop it at just saying you want to have sex with this girl. You went on to the live internet, unprovoked, on your own, to talk about black girls that are actually white. That tells me that you don't even like the culture of black, because you're saying you like them black girls that are white. Right? Let's hear it again. Let's just hear it again, right? What he says.
Don't know, G. Just something I pulled on live. Just yeah, she's nice. She's black. My first black girl.
First of all, it's his first black girl. That should tell you everything you need to know, right? He's used to dealing with certain type of bird. Okay, all right, a certain type of bird. I don't want to say the name, but he's been dealing with the Caucasoids. All right, cool. You've been dealing with them. All right, cool. No worries at all. And by the way, Caucasoid is the name that they gave to these particular races. They called us Negroid Caucasoids, just in case y'all take it the wrong way. I'm just using the terminology they used. Okay. All right. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, she's fit. You find her fit though. She's like.
Now pause it there. Okay. Pause it there. Again, I want to be very, very clear. I actually have no problem with a white man saying he's not attracted to black women. Right? I don't care if he is or not. I couldn't give two tellies. I don't think it's racism. I just think we all have our preferences, right? Very, very strongly. As a black man, I think a white girl can be attractive too. I think they are attractive. I don't deal with them, but I believe that they can be attractive, but I don't deal with them. Okay. If he then said, listen, he finds black girls attractive, but he's not really interested, I would also be like, cool, bro, I ain't got no beef for that either, because fam, that's your thing. You know what I'm saying? We stick to our clans, and I totally get that, right? So I've got no beef with that again. But look how he's trying to, look how this young man, Hstikkytokky, whatever his name is, or I don't know what his actual name is trying to pander to his Caucasoid counterpart. Look how he's pandering. Let's just see how he's going to tap dance for the master.
Like, them black things that look white.
And the reason why he had to explain, look, oh God, the brother even had to, the white guy even had to go, he don't know what the frick you mean. Because he said that look white. He didn't even say that act white. See, I give him a pass by saying we understand what Malteser is, right? We understand what someone thing is. We know those things, right? But you actually said she looks white. Not that she acts, looks white. So you like Eurocentric features. He's basically just letting us know he likes Eurocentric features, which most of us have been indoctrinated to like. So let's not even try to debate. It's the way he said it though. But she looks white. You mean she's of a lighter skin tone? You mean she has Eurocentric features closer to the Western woman? Or should I say very more clearly to the British woman? Okay. Remember, his mom was white, so I'm just trying to understand him.
No, like with the facial expressions, like You know, like.
So what does that consist of?
Do you hear what he just said? Now he's talking about the actions. It's very. Do you hear what he said? Now he's talking about the actions. He said, you know, the girls with the certain facial expressions, like, yeah, like expressions, like, you know, the ones that have the expression, like, you know. And listen, let me keep it an absolute buck. There are expressions that we do differently. Let's not lie. Let's not lie. There are expressions within the Black British culture and probably even the Black American culture. We do certain things. That's why we can make videos saying, how do Black people look when someone said they're going to smack everybody up in the room? Boy, please. Like, we know we have certain expressions, right? But look how he's defining it. And it's really important because it's showing what his type is, his preferences, and it's very conscious because he's even observing the way that she moves. We're going to come on to his comment in a second too. Why I say that, you know.
Mate, what does that consist of? The black things that look white. How do the black things look white, mate?
No, bruv, it's just the ones that ain't coming like Drogba, bruv.
So now at this point, right, he said what he said. Now at this point, he's going to be derogative in order to make funny with his friend, right? Remember, he's already downplayed the black woman. He's already said, you know, black girl that looks white. He's already let us know his preferences, you know, and now he has to go to a derogative place. When you don't consider a black woman as equal, when I say equal in terms of the fact that as being a human, when you don't consider, when you there's a thing that people do, which is like they I don't want to call it animalize, or, you know, one of the things with white supremacy, with racism and slavery that's happened was that they made us as black people animalistic, right? It was a way in order to make people feel less guilty about the treatment they would give us. Because of course, if you treat a dog differently than you treat a human being, you can change the way you feel about it, right? So, I mean, the British people love their dogs. I'll be honest with you. They love their dogs. They love them more than black people. I'll be honest with you. The British white folk love dogs more than they love black people. If a dog shot somebody and a black person shot somebody and that person was white, they would say, allow the dog and kill the black person. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This is how they feel. Let's keep it real. Anyway, so like what he just said there at that point in time, when you listen to him, and he just says obviously about the black woman being Drogba, now linking him to being a man, it is the very same aspects of white supremacy that linked a black woman to being an animal or animalistic, being masculine, and then sexually objectifying her at the same time. And what it does, it removes the desirability of the white supremacist structure, and saying that the black woman isn't attractive, she's ugly, but at the same time then sexualizing her, meaning she's only good for sex. Is very much what the historical white supremacy has done in terms of sexualizing the black woman, right? Which has trickled down sometimes it's trickled down into even the black males or black men as well. But he instantly did that. He said, look, straight away, oh, she's like Didier Drogba, who's a footballer, by the way, a soccer player, for those who are American, a soccer player from Ivory Coast, okay? Maybe I can get a picture for you guys, right? From Ivory Coast. And it is an insult and derogative, and again, a push towards saying somebody has an aspect of masculinity, too much masculinity, right? They're too masculine in their look. They look like males. They're not soft. They're not feminine. That is the same energy that they use in white supremacy and slavery. Okay. So he's unknowingly, but knowingly, he might not know the constructs of it, is buying into the same aspect and rhetoric of black girls aren't pretty. Black girls are manly. Black girls are animalistic. This is Didier Drogba, by the way. This is Didier Drogba, by the way. Okay, that he compared the young lady to. I will show you who the young lady is in a second or two. Okay, right? He's having a jolly little laugh. And this is what we say. This is what black women are saying about us as a community, as black men. Not if we don't hold these men accountable, this kind of small, it's like seemingly like a small joke kind of thing, is a rhetoric that is harmful to black women. Not only emotionally, but physically too. Because the next step after this derogative behavior, the misogynoir, The next step after this anti-black behavior is that it turns to violence against them because we consider them not to be feminine. We don't consider them to be women, right? We consider them to be animals. We consider them to be men, and so we deal with them as such, right? So let me show you the young lady. She too is called official browning. Charlie, it just doesn't get good. It doesn't get well. It doesn't get well. This is him on his little single bed doing madness. Okay, now. Tingz is okay. It's a bit of a risque photo, but again, it's like, and she came out on Insta, and I could show you actually. I'll show you the link, and actually talked about what she had seen, and I was just like, this you've seen his content, you've seen his, you know, his a lot of his stuff on TikTok. I went on TikTok for 2 minutes. Went through the videos for 2 minutes, bro. And I was like, yeah, if I'm trying to move mad, this, you know, as a lady, you know, you want to be, this is not the kind of guy you want to be involved in, bro. This guy will tell your business before you even get a chance. Like, he will tell your business, you know. Look at this. This is her on she came to talk on her page on Insta. She said, let me start off by clarifying HS is not my boyfriend. I wasn't made aware of his live comment until later on my live when someone pointed it out. After the date, I messaged him privately about the comments. I was in no way defending the comments. I brushed them off because I hadn't seen the live. But when I did, me and him had a conversation. I was very much oblivious to everything that was said until it was too late. If I had known about what he had said, I wouldn't even have been in that situation. I in no way condone racism. But first of all, we need to talk about this photo. Why were you happy to take this photo? It's just mad. Like, the photo is just a problematic photo as well. Like, honestly, like, it's crazy. And you know what? As someone put in there, you don't get she turned off her comments on her Instagram. You don't get a pass from these white men. Who? Someone put it in the comments. You don't get a pass, you know. You actually don't get a pass. You think you're better off? I hope not, baby. Listen, the white boys in the comments are comparing her to a man. Why? Because exactly what the young man just spoke about. She's not even light enough to even be able to pass. So she's still going to be included in this bracket. So very much so, you know, the shtick that he was using to beat dark-skinned black women specifically as well is still going to hit her. Baby, if you don't dump his ass, and I'm not my boyfriend, but dump him fast, as in don't associate with him ever again, since you're causing yourself much more damage in the future. Right? This young man does not care for women, for black women. He does not care for dark-skinned women. That's why he's only been with them just recently. He does not care for them in that way, right? He's going to have to go for a stern education, but his rhetoric is dangerous because of what it leads to, right? Comparing people to Didier Drogba, right? It's, you know what I mean? Somebody needs to tear his singlet. Quick! Tear his singlet fast. What kind of nonsense is this? Little black.